when we were doing the indices, the the break, the big move to the upside in the Aussie came when upon a trade back above the structure point, which is the strongest one we have, the 98.45, which goes back until August 2008. So it's a 3-year-old significant point, and we have moved all the way to the ups to the 103.59. The Australian chart is quite interesting for two reasons. Because we have here a structural failure which is the beginning of a trend change to the downside. Okay, then once we had that, we had a good move below the structure all the way down towards it put a low of 93.86, and then we had this explosive move to the upside. Now, is this move a resumption of the upward trend, which is initially was from here, or is it back a test of the 102.55, or it's a gift again for the resumption of the downtrend? Once I have a structural failure, I need to be cautious of the resumption of the downtrend, because this is a structural failure. It's a bona fide structural failure. Yet, if I have a move above the structural failure, I need to be cautious. Why? Because once I have one structural failure, until it takes out that high, until it goes above this area right there, as long as it's within this range, it is in a price acceptance zone. It has not yet resumed the upward trend, and it hasn't been able to go to the downside. So what's going to happen here, we are going to get, if we don't go breakthrough straight above the 101, we're going to have multiple structural failures over here, and it should be rolling down to the downside. Whichever the case may be, this is a price acceptance zone, and it has to be treated as such. Okay? So therefore, if we look at the weekly chart, before I say the word therefore, if you look at the weekly chart, you would see that we have closed at the dead end. We had about a 600 pip range for this week, so it's quite an extended move. So we need to be patient with our buy signal, so we will buy it on a trade above. Look at the high is 103.44. This one, it closed at 103.33, so it closed about 10 pips from the high, which is again extremely powerful, and this means we'll only take it upon, this is like a choked kind of a trade. So we will buy it above, if it goes above the high, and we will sell it if it breaks below the structure. And if you can see the structure here of the 102.55, you can see it on the intraday chart, pretty much one and the same. This is your 102.31. The structure point is 102.55. So it's basically pretty much is the high of the range, the New York range. So it gives us an easy trade. So I'm going to buy the Aussie dollar above 44, and if I do buy it right there, I'm going to, if I buy it above 133.50, I'm going to place my stop right below the market side. I mean, that's the least I can do. So my stop, the long stop is going to be 103. Right below, I mean, you put it below the market side, so I'm going to make it even. So replacing your stop below the market side. On the short side, we're going to go short below the 102, and it is going to be my structural short point. And it is also going to be my short stop. Okay, and my structure long, the next structure long to the upside, there is nothing but air here, which is the 101. The next structure long to the upside is the 101. Okay, so what we're going to do with the Aussie, we're going to be buying the Aussie above the high of the day. This means we do because it's a big range week, big range day, so I'm buying it above the 103.44, and if I do, I have a structure point I have this is the structure long run. Yeah, I just transpose the 0. Okay, so we're going to buy the Aussie above 103.44, and if we do, we have a structure point at 110. So now it's 103, so if it gets above the 110, that's going to be my structure long, and this means if it continues up, I have about 700 pips target on that trade. And if I do buy it, my stop is below the 103, so I'm risking about 44 pips on that trade. On the short side, I'm going to go short below the 102.55, which is my structural short, and it's also going to be my stop. Okay? That is the Aussie dollar.